In this video, we'll be talking about natal sun in Gemini in the 4th house and what this placement means for you when you have it in your chart. So with that being said, if you have this placement, you have it in the right place, or you're in the right place. With that being said, what the sun represents in astrology is it represents the quality of our actions, how we want to be seen, and also how we come across to others, especially how our actions come across. And it's really about, the quality of our character and really, what's motivating our actions. And so when the sun is in Gemini, which is all about circumstance, ideas, opportunities, and when it's also about the mind, this shows somebody whose actions are motivated by their intellect, by their ideas, or by a certain train of thought, or by certain circumstances, and they have a more adaptable approach to life. So with that being said, the sun in this case is also in the 4th house. The 4th house is all about privacy, emotions, security, and personal interests, things that have to do with our home life or have to do with, things that we personally enjoy or that give us comfort. So this is having to do with like personal hobbies and things like that. Things that we want to do as opposed to responsibilities, which is the opposing house, which is the 10th house. Now, also the 4th house is ruled by Cancer, and Cancer is all about intuition. It's also about answers because it comes right after the sign Gemini, which is about ideas or thoughts. And Cancer is about things that we hold on to, and it's also about intuition, which is really just a hypothesis or an answer. So with that being said, when you have the sun here in the 4th house in Gemini, first of all, it shows somebody that's constantly thinking about their feelings or constantly thinking about solutions, or they're constantly thinking about the past. That's another thing about the 4th house, which is about our memories or our past. So this is a very internally contemplative placement. It shows somebody that's always internally thinking or privately thinking. And since the sun in Gemini is about adapting to circumstance, this is also somebody that adapts to circumstances where they can find privacy or more fulfillment. In other words, this shows a tendency also to be more secretive or more evasive as a personality type. And that's especially because, the sign that has the 4th house in Gemini is Pisces. Pisces is all about being secretive or evasive, and kind of having a hidden side to ourselves, having more depth than what we portray on the surface. But with that being said, when you have this placement, you may have a tendency to constantly adapt in a way that will maintain privacy or maintain some sort of secrecy around certain insecurities or just certain things that you've decided to keep private about yourself. So, this will give you like evasive tendency essentially. So for the most part, these individuals are more introverted and they have a lot of internal dialogue that other people are not aware of, and their actions may come across or may be motivated by circumstance and by the factors that other people are not picking up on necessarily, because when the sun is in the 4th house, it's in the 12th from its own house, which is the 5th house, and the 12th is all about the subconscious. So there's a lot of subconscious factors that about this placement in terms of how they act. So sometimes even the way that you act can be, subconsciously motivated. So you may not be aware of all the influences to how you're feeling or to your energy, but also other people are, less aware of you because you may feel like you're less seen or like that people are not seeing as much of you as is present. Because the 12th house is about being hidden or subconscious. Now, the sun rules the 5th house, which is all about passions and a constant state of energy, because it is associated with the sign Leo, which is a fixed fire sign. Fixed signs are about a constant way of being, and fire signs are about action or perception. So the sun is about a constant state of energy or a constant way of acting. And that's why it's about passions, because passions are things that we constantly have energy for. So the sun is a good way to see what you're passionate about. And when it's in the 4th house, which is all about preserving things, it's all about memories and capturing things. This to me shows somebody that's passionate about capturing or preserving ideas, because Gemini is all about ideas, the mind, and it's a creative sign in a sense. But it's especially about communication. So these people could be passionate about journaling. They could be passionate about recording their ideas. They could be passionate about podcasting. Or also, since it's about creative projects, they could be passionate about nurturing a creative project. But a lot of times they have a more scattered personality or scattered personal interest. So a lot of times they don't stick to the things they start. So these people often are starting a lot of new creative projects, but they may leave a lot of them unfinished. So again, the next thing about this placement is that it shows somebody that may have a tendency to think about the past or how you've perceived things. Like you may be replaying those things in your mind a lot and making sense of them from like an intellectual or a rational standpoint, because Gemini is an air sign and it's a logical sign. And then ultimately how you come across to others is more ambiguous, less seen, or more evasive. Because the fourth house is a private house, and when the sun is here, you would have a tendency to feel less seen, or you feel like you're more subconscious. So with that being said, that summarizes natal sun in Gemini in the fourth house. And with that being said, if you enjoyed and this resonated, then don't forget to leave a like on this video and subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see more content. Other than that, if you would like a natal chart reading covering all of your placements in a personalized video, as well as your north node, then check the link in my description, which is to my Patreon, where I do a free natal chart reading for each of my Jupiter tier patrons, which is my higher tier. I also have an email in my description if you'd like to contact me that way and book a reading, or if you have any other specific inquiries. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys watching and supporting in any way that you do. And I will talk to you guys sometime soon in another video. Peace.